very few people know of this story, but it's sort of for the first time we're telling this story. But obviously, this train that we were taking went through, came from Zimbabwe to South Africa.
Mm.
So before you get to the border, they've collected everyone's passports, right? Because they don't want to spend too much time at the border control. So Zimbabwe border, we went through, and they checked every passenger because we stopped for an X amount of hours, and literally it's like border control, like they stop, and it goes through. But the trained people who do this is that South Africa is going to be a bit more of a challenge because obviously it's set up differently, and they will pick on certain people because obviously this is Africa.
Yeah.
There's a train of a certain wealth, or a certain sector of wherever you are in the chain that's going through. So they're going to try and take advantage of that. And so they'll look at all the passports and they will pick certain passports because they will purposely try to delay the train because that's a way for them to make money. Right? Happens all over the world.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. It's just the way a large part of the world just works. So now they've kind of given a heads up to all the passengers, but most passengers are not really aware of what that means. Me, on the other hand, because I've traveled the whole world on a Pakistani passport, I know exactly what's coming up. Because that's what happened, right? We stopped at the South African passport. At a certain point, the feedback came back that they want to see two people.
Right. And you knew that you were one of them.
I'm one of them. And literally, the whole thing was, they want me to come off the train. They want to physically see me. Everything is, like in terms of paperwork and everything, everything is, all they wanted was to get me off the train, because that in itself was going to create a situation where it's triggering stress, right?
Yes.
The train people are going to get stressed because they got a full train load of passengers.
Yeah.
Passengers are going to get stressed because they're like, why are we waiting?
Yes.
And so it's an opportunity for them to maximize it for whatever their purpose is, right?
Yeah.
Now everyone's getting stressed. They come to me and they're like, you need to go to the border. I'm like, sure, let's do it. And now family, people around me, you can tell the anxiety levels are going up.
Amazing.
Right? And I'm just like, we will play this as it goes.
Yeah.
And I knew, because look, at the end of the day, when you're doing something, again, with a certain level of authenticity, and you're doing it for the right reasons, the truth
always plays out.
So I knew that there was nothing in this. I had nothing to hide.
Yeah.
But I knew exactly why this thing was playing out. So so they took me off the train, and they actually said, they're like, look, because the border thing was about 30 minutes away, we will have to leave you.
Oh, wow.
Right? So the train will leave because we're on a schedule, but the guy, what they call them, chasers. Once you're done at the border, then you're going to chase the train. And now, in that mindset, conventional mindset, I would have been stressed.
Yeah.
I just looked at it as an incredible opportunity. I was like, when am I ever going to experience something like this?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's see what this play. I went to the border, South African guys, look, genuine people just playing the system. I went in, they immediately knew that I knew what was going on.
Right.
Right? So they shut down everything. They're like, okay, we're not going to get anything from this guy.
Yes, we got cut off again. The major learning from our debut car podcast is that in summer, when it's 45 degrees outside, no matter what camera you use, it will get hot on a dashboard. Anyway, let's get back to the story. We're in the passport office on the border. Mate, continue and finish this one off, because this is a great way to finish.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the mindset, right? So I was like, okay, I was aware of what was going on. I went into it with an open mind. I had no, expectations or pre-conditioned judgment or whatever. I was like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We know exactly what these guys are doing. I know exactly where I stand in all of this. and we'll just let it play itself out. And you saw the people, you know,
They relax.
they relax
Yeah.
and they realize they're like, okay, he's not going to get agitated by all of this. So we've lost our advantage,
Yeah.
right? And we've lost whatever we were trying to do. So they were like, okay, you're done. And even the train people who came with me, they afterwards, they were like,
What did you do?
why did we, like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And I was like, what? But I was like, because I told them there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And so, but I was so like open to the whole thing. And to be honest with you, I loved the experience because I interacted with people and I never judged them. And I respected them for who they were.
Yeah.
You know, many people would be like, oh, they're trying to scam you or whatever. I'm like, whatever.
Whatever.
That's their life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to judge them. And it happens everywhere. Are you going to make comparisons between what they're doing and what some of the I don't even want to get into that, right? What the politicians are doing. But, you know, so who are we to judge? But because I was aware of that and because I left myself open to that, I experienced it. I saw a lot of people react a different way to me. Nothing happened that was negative. And then I experienced something quite amazing where we chased a train back, you know, and literally it's like out of the movies. We're chasing the train and they were like, okay, we need to get to this particular stop because we need to get ahead of the train. So they radioed the train. We're like, we're going to be at this particular stop. So we've bombed past the train. We get to this particular station where it's run down. It's been abandoned for years.
Yeah.
I even took a picture there because they're like, well, no one stops here anymore. And the train stops. You know, everyone's cheering.
Yeah.
And I just jump on the train.
Hop back on.
And we go on with the journey.
Incredible. What a way to end.